This video is part 2 of the previous video. Jebb Adams Comes Clean, again part 1. The purpose of this video is to clean the top inside of the 411G and the cavity, the hand wheel end. The cam stack and hand wheel will be removed to allow for cleaning access. There already has been some cleaning done in the motor cavity and hand wheel cavity. I have some new brushes to clean that area again. Let's get the top off. There, the lid is off, and now I'm going to get the hand wheel off, and then I'm going to take the cam stack off. Oh yeah. This is called Textolite. So there we have the hand wheel off. Then we're going to do is get the cam stack off. There's the cam disc installed, so we'll remove that. And you can see how the circular hole there on the cam disc, it slides right there on that stud pin there. So we'll take that off. And there you can see the cam stack. Anyway, I'm going to remove the cam stack. I'm going to take the cam stack off, and this is where the flathead screwdriver goes. It's just a matter of turning it tightly, and so I've got that started, so I'll take it off. The other thing I want to talk about while we're here are these 3 screws. When we take these 3 screws off, this black piece will come off. When we have it out and we do that, we should be able to take all the discs off the stack structure. So this stud here, this post here, is what holds all these discs. There's 7 discs, cams, whatever, fashion discs. So I just wanted to give you a better look at that. Good, and I'll get that off of there. And there we can see that there's kind of a washer, and there is a little bit of dirt on that thread there. Can I take it out now? Yes, I can. Look at that. So I'll just pull it straight up. Oh, look at the messy cam stack there. Hey, you guys. But anyway, that was really cool. Now, in order to remove the cam stack, we want this rotator pointer to be on the A, and we want this one over here, which might be a little hard to see, on the K. And just watch, and here are the lifters, 1, 2, front and back. There. See, now you can see the back one. So there you go on that. The tools that I'm using for this job. And in this container over here, that's the must for rust. There's a clip at the end that was supposed to be in the previous video, and I did a little, kind of in the studio, in the workshop, rust test, and it did very well on the bed feet screws that I attached the bed cushions to the bottom of the sewing machine with. So that is a must for rust. Here is 100% KRUD kutter, and I put it in this container I got from the dollar store, and that's where I'm gonna put the KRUD kutter. This is H2O water, and just rinse water, and I'm gonna put that in there. And then I have another container which will probably end up with a little bit of water and liquid dishwashing detergent. So that's how I set up my cleaning tools. In the background we have the Singer 411G upside down, and that's about all we can see. And then I've got over there, I got some tools and junk and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna get the screwdriver right now as we speak and take these 3 screws out. So I'm gonna get in just a tad closer, like that. Now that may be a little too wide. Indeed, indeed. So I'll go to this smaller screwdriver and I'll try it. Good, the blade fits. And believe it or not, that one screw is so tight. I've got 2 of them undone. I've got 2 of them loosened. And the one is so tight that it bent the shaft of the screwdriver I was using. Let me see this again. That one's loose, as is that one. And this is the problem child screw right here. What I do in cases like this is I always reach for heat. I'll give it a blast with the hairdryer, and I'll be right back. Okay, let me try this again. I gave it some heat and I gave it a little knock. That is not going to do it. The problem I'm having with the cam stack is that I still can't release this screw. I took the hairdryer to it. I had the oven mitt on my hand and I held the hairdryer for a few minutes. I still couldn't undo it. And heat is my always, standby. It always works. But maybe I couldn't heat it enough. I think that is some kind of metal piece. And my problem is that if I throw it in Must for Rust or KRUD cutter, will it destroy it? And I don't think it will. It may tarnish it, but I don't think that will affect the performance of this machine, of this little machine we're looking at right here. That's the predicament I have. What I am going to do right now, however, is, as I mentioned earlier, I've got some Must for Rust here, and I have a rusty pair of pliers here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Must for Rust on the pliers, right there like that. And I'll just let that sit. Now I don't even know if that is rust. That might be nail polish or grease, or it's not grease, it could be something else. I'm going to put a little bit of Must for Rust right on there on that screw. And so, fair enough, I'll let that sit. The other thing is I found my handy dandy little screwdriver, and I'm going to try it right now. We'll all be golly darned. Look at that, folks. Wow. Do I credit the Must for Rust? I think so. But I've been working hard on that screw anyway. So I'm going to take these screws out and put them in. So in it goes. Can I take that one out? I can just take it out with my fingers because I had enough of it out that I could get a grip on it. There's that one. There's my buddy there that was so difficult. Looks fine enough. There, that's out. So I'm just going to wash that like in water or whatever. So I'll put that in there. And then now that that is out, we should be able to remove the discs, separate the discs from, cool, there. And that's not threaded. So even though I was treating it like it was a screw and trying to unscrew it, undo it, and you see all the goop. I'm going to wipe all that crap off before I put it in the KRUD cutter or whatever I end up putting it in. So all these 7 discs now are loose. There's the pin, and these discs are all numbered. There's number 7, number 6. There's a little bit of grime on the 6 and over here. Number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Restore by Numbers. Oh yeah, I think I'm bloody hilarious, didn't I? So, okay. Let me get some KRUD cutter in there. That's why, looking at my dollar store containers here, I have KRUD cutter, 100% KRUD cutter in that one, and I got 100% H2O water in that one. This one's empty. I'm going to put the water in there. What am I going to do with this? You know what? It's metal or steel or something. There, that's what I'm doing with that. And this one, right now, I'm going to see if I can get that. Yeah, I can get that off. Let me get that there like that. Let me get down here. So yeah, it's really grimy right where it goes into the threads, and the threads themselves are really gluey and goopy. So that will go in there as well. You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if I can just, yeah, I'll put it in here. Here's the KRUD cutter. So there's the KRUD cutter. That post in there, that stud, that post goes in there. And you can already see the KRUD cutter. Well, not the KRUD, it's not water. You can already see the KRUD cutter liquid starting to cloud up. I'm going to give that 10 minutes. So the items have been in the KRUD cutter for more than 10 minutes. It's probably been about 20 or 25 minutes, but it's come pretty clean. And what I was most concerned about actually are these discs. Now, that number 7 right there on the disc, that had been brown. I remember that was the first one I took off. So can see some kind of difference in coloration there. Maybe a little there as well. Slight bit there. But, you know, I mean, I'm really going into detail here when I start mentioning that kind of stuff, you know. And here's the other side of the disc. So I like it. I mean, it's in good condition. There are some marks. Some of them make, this is number 4, disc number 4. There may be some, you know, tarnish marks. Is this number 7? Is this the first one I had already? I think I was playing with number 7 before. This is number 5. So it's number 5, and I want to get a brush. So I'll get this one right here. And I want to get into that number 5. Like that. And then I'm going to go in here with the dishwashing detergent. You know what, I might as well do the whole darn thing with dishwashing detergent. And it's the dishwashing detergent that sounds like the early morning. Also sounds like a guy's name. And the long form for his name would be Donald. Did you guys figure it out yet? So I'm going to put that soapy one in there. Like that. And then here's my H2O container. That's great. It went into the rinse water, and I'm really happy with the way it looks. You know, I'm not going to sweat. Like, if these numbers don't come really clean in the groove, you know what, who cares? Give these things a dry. So that's 2 of them that are done. And then I'm going to get, well, there's that's a good one. That's got the, that's number 1. That's disc number 1. It has the marking engravement on it. So I'll wash it up. Where's that toothbrush? Now there's a little mark there. And, but you know what? The darn thing is clean. And I don't think it's going to affect the operation of the... So I've got one in the rinse now. And what I want to do is I want to see if this toothbrush will be enough to get the grunge out of the number. Yeah, it's come pretty clean. So what number is this? This one is, I think it's number 1. Huh. There's a number. We'll give it a scrub. And I'll give the rest of it a scrub as well. Throw it in the water. Number 3. So I want to see how that number 3 came out. You know what? It came out Bristol. It came out stellar. You know, Jebb is a happy restorer apprentice. Now this number 6. Now look at this, look at the shape of that disc. It's a really elliptical shape, eccentric shape. It's not perfectly circular. You know, it's doing pretty good. It's come really clean. I'm going to put these guys back in the water because they got splashed. And it's still scunged up in the teeth gears here, the gear teeth here. Okay, so I'll put it back in the KRUD cutter. So I'm pretty pleased with it, except this groove. And there's just a bit of kind of varnish color right there. And there's a hole there, and I think there's a hole there, and it must allow for some kind of lubrication. I don't understand because I haven't researched that or studied it, but we'll put it in there for a minute, and then I'm going to get my strainer, and then I'm going to put all this stuff in the strainer, make a whole lot of noise. You know the drill. You know what I'm going to do. I'll see you on the other side. So I've already dried them with the hair dryer, and now I have the pieces here, and I'm just going to hand dry them quickly. And once I finish hand drying them quickly, I will zap them with the hair dryer again. But I just wanted, and that is some kind of metal or steel piece. and it doesn't seem to have been affected by the KRUD cutter whatsoever, and it feels and looks nice and clean. And here is the cam disc post or stud that the cam discs are inserted on to be put in the machine. Some of these discs are, maybe they all are, some of them are eccentric. That one is not a perfect form of any type. So, and then this one, I feel like some dampness and moisture on the steel. Humid warmth, I guess. But they're gonna get another zap for a minute or two. And as you can see, as I bring them in front of the camera, you see what kind of marks or cleanliness they have. There, that's pretty good. There wasn't any real moisture that came out of there. It was still dry from the hairdryer. Oops. So I'll put those pieces back in there, and I'll get my hairdryer, and I'll see you on the other side again. These 3 screws that go in this device that goes on top of the cam stack, they haven't had any stuff. So I've got the must for rust here. I'm just going to pour a little in there. There, and I'm going to give that like maybe a minute. So they've come out really nice. They're not like shiny bright or anything, but you know, I mean, they'll do the job and they'll never be seen again probably for the rest of the machine's existence. So good job, Jebb. So now it's oil time. And this is a really simple job. It's not a lot of work. It's not hard. You can't even get hurt as long as you're careful with your eyes and stuff. So all I'm going to do is eye shortcut. So they've had a couple of drops each kind of thing. These guys I'm going to get in threads. And then this guy, of course, he's a special case, isn't he? That. That. And like that. And like that. Then those guys are like that, and like that. And the next thing I would like to do is I'm going to dry them off a little, right like this. Get as much of the residual extra oil off as possible. You know, if you speak to a mechanical engineer, they will say the best oil application is one where there's no evidence of oil application. You know, to actually take like a Kleenex or a paper towel or whatever and touch the steel with the tissue of the towel and have the towel come away clean. No discoloration whatsoever. And I mean, at that point, even if there was discoloration, it would be clean discoloration because it would be clean oil. Mechanical engineers are very good about cleaning mechanical parts. They're doctors. So we're making progress here, my friends. You know, we've done a good job. I've wiped all the oil off, and the next thing is to put the stack together. And then once it's all together, prim and proper, I'm going to get clean in the top of the, inside the top of the 411G, and finish up a little bit of dusting that I would like to do in the hand wheel compartment and motor tube and motor compartment, all that stuff. So there, that's everything there. That's really cool. Now is the time when I get the magnetic tray. This guy hasn't been wiped down. Dude. So, and if it was, well, this is its second or third wiping down. It's like a fine tuned athlete. Lots of wipe downs. So it's, you know what, I'm thinking that these threads, see there's a little bit of discoloration right there, there, and there. So I'll get my plastic brush and it's gone, gone, gone. So that's a good idea, isn't it? And then we'll get some oil in these screw holes here. Cool. There. Now I'm giving them another oiling. This guy here, I'm going to roll up some shop towel, nice thin shape, and because I have my pointer sticks that if I can't get it in, I can use one of them to help me. But I think I'm going to have, yeah, see, I'm okay. There's a shop towel there. Oh, look at the gunk coming off the shop towel. So I'll turn that around. Yeah, there's a good amount of dirt came off of in there. So what I'll do is, are we not restorers, my friends? My friends at Jebb Adams, we are all restorers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this oil and I'm going to soak this piece of shop towel and I'm going to pretend that this oily piece of shop towel now is a wick. And that is somewhat secure in there, like there is a little bit of friction moving it back and forth. And I do want to move it the other way, if I can. See, so there's a little more there. And now I'll send it in this way. So that is good to go. So maybe got a little too much oil on it, but that's like your mother of invention oil wick. The order in which we want is we would like all the discs to be, the numbers to be face up, and the top disc is disc number 7, and the bottom disc is disc number 1, and I'm going to see if I can align it. Well, I had it aligned. It's pretty easy to get them unaligned. Okay, there's number one. But I want it aligned with this hole on the side, like that. So I'll need a screwdriver. So there's one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now I have to get the post, which is right here, and shimmy it up through the openings. Yeah, we're through, and then I gotta kind of get them to go together. And then, whoops, I went too far. Then I'm pretty sure I gotta get this. So why don't I do it this way? And you can see this side is tarnished. So that's, and it's the narrower side, the shallower side. No, it isn't, it's the top. That's the side that has to be on the top. The narrower, the skinnier ledge here, that goes on the bottom. And that has to go like that, right? Right. So now I gotta find the holes for the screws. And there's one right there. And there's a screw waiting to go home. Well, I think I missed because I have nothing there. Nada. Oh, because I missed a part. There, that's in. That goes right in there. That slides right in there in that groove. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Snug, snug, snug. What I want to do now is I would like to remove this screw to take this cover off to get more access to clean in there. That'll fit in there. Here it is right here. What's going on here? Is that thread compromised? Like, who put that on that tight in the first place anyway? Now, take a look down in here and there. Where else can we see it from? I guess that's about the best angle up there. You can see up there. Let me see if I can get a better aim on there. But it's really filthy, as is here. And on the meshing gear there. And it would be nice to be able to remove this device right here, and I already attempted to, but the screw on the front is stripped and it's not coming off. I've tried heat, I've tried banging it, I put oil, I've put a little drop of penetrating oil, it's not coming off. This has to be cleaned in situ, in place right here, as does that. I wasn't going to take that off anyway, but if this had come off, this whole area here would open up. So as it is, I'm going to have to apply everything, and as it kind of seeps down and drips down, then I'll be mopping up. It'll be a big mopping up or operation kind of. So I'm going to get some oil and start giving it a pretty good wash of oil. And you know, this thing really hasn't been cleaned, I don't think, ever. And you know, it's a 50s machine, right? There, I'm going to oil it while I'm here. I'll talk about the oil points another time, but while I'm here, I am going to, we'll throw some oil down there for sure. Some there. I'm not too worried about the electric cord. For my own purposes, I'm not. I may be sounding a little selfish here, but if it became an issue, I'd just rewire it. You know, I mean, what are you going to do if I can't get the lamp off, or that front cover off, and you know, open up the lamp to get this off and get that out? What choice do I have, really? At least maybe I'll be moving the oil around or something. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a thinner brush to go in there. But look, there is quite a bit of the resin sponge that I got there. So I'm gonna tear that bit of the towel off and throw it away. And I'm gonna wipe up there. I oiled here too as well. These are the stitch lever controls, and these are the actual risers or stitch levers. And with these dials, that one you push in, and when you lower it from A down to J, it makes this one over here go up and down. So when I started cleaning here, it was like that. So now I'm going to put it like that, and then I'll dump some oil in there and on there, and then I'll send it back in there like that. So that's messy. I'll have to wipe up the oil, and I'm just, putting a little more oil on, because that part there kind of changed now that I've been doing that. Now for the other one, you pull the dial back out away from the machine, and that's when it's down in the whatever one it's in, and that's when it's up there. So when I came in here and started, it was like that. And before I raise it up, what I'd like to do is get the plastic brush and give everything a little bit of a brush as it sits in its current state and position. But it does feel nice to finally get into a machine again. I mean, there was we've all had to live with COVID and COVID issues and all the rest of it. So it's nice to be able to get active again and, maybe get caught up on some of the things we needed to do when COVID was slowing us down. So I'm going to be able to get some grease on here, oil in here, grease on there, grease on the down in there. I'm going to have to get it down in there. But at least the parts are moving, and this wonderful old machine is, getting tidied up, getting cleaned up. interesting stuff, incredible engineering, you know. And I mean, this stuff lasts for a lifetime, you know. This stuff I'm doing today in this video, it'll still be good, you know, like 100 years from now, if the machine is still alive. And you know, hopefully there's restorers like you and me that will, you know, either recirculate these machines by buying and selling them, or add them to our little collections. The problem with the collection is that eventually you run out of space, you know. And it's funny, you see some of these rich guys and they have, you know, warehouses full of stuff. Anyway, the clean continues, and I'm going to stop here for now and maybe even get some work done off camera. When it's all kind of caught up, I'll get back into it. I would like to get this video posted really soon, so you know, it may end up being a case of get it started and you know, I mean, you know how the story ends. I can't even scrape some of this stuff off. What's going on there? Can I? I don't think I can. Well, I'm not that concerned about it. I'm not going to take 1,000 grit paper or 2,000 grit paper and sand it. But for now, I am going to put some oil on there. And I'm going to reach down with some grease and get it on there. Where's that cloth I was looking for? So I have the Tri-Flow Clear Synthetic Grease, and I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm totally self-supported. And please watch my channel. And speaking of watching my channel, please do, if you feel so inclined that you'd like to know when I publish or post a new video about the machines, hit the notification bell, like go up to the like box, and when you like it, it'll give you the opportunity to hit the notification bell or notification menu or whatever. And then if you hit that notify, then every time I publish a video, I don't know if I get that or not, but anyway, that's how it works. So that's what you want to do that. If you want to subscribe, do that. That's great. If you want to like, do that. You know, you're welcome here. You know, do what you want. You know, it's your place to have fun and learn, hopefully. So I'm going to get that grease down there, hopefully, right now. Try jam it in with that brush, and that's not really that great a brush. So that being the case, I am going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the end of that stick, I'm going to put some grease on it, I'm going to send it down. You know what, I got some down there. I think a large part of it may have gone underneath, I may have done too good a job, but now that it's down there, there's that grease there, right there. So I'll spread it out, and I'll run it back, and now when it comes around again, and then I'm sticking the probe right in between the threads there, the grooves there. So if nothing else, there is grease on there. It's, you know, and I don't really see any critical varnish, not on there. You know, I see some mess back there, but that's a different story too. And then the other place I want to throw some grease in is right down there. And I know there's probably, you know, like that's for oil, but I'm going to throw some grease in there. I might even throw some grease on there. And I just want to say it, you know, again, that grease is time delay oil. When it says that it needs grease, it needs the time delay. When they say don't put grease on there, it doesn't mean that it can't take grease, It just means that they're not suggesting you do that. So, you know, I gotta be really liberal-minded about grease. And I'm gonna see if can I get my finger down there? That's really frustrating that well, maybe I can get in between some of those gears. Okay, there's a little bit of, so what I'm doing is I'm just putting the shop towel on down there, and then I'm getting the sharp point of my probe, my shrimp skewer probe, and then just putting it in between. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it down there, and I'm going to go in at this end again, and then it should take me all the way through to the other end. Is that the way I want to go? I don't know, I couldn't see. Let's see what it does. Okay, there's some dirt and grease there too. So I'll move it around, you know. I mean, the grease is eventually, the dirt is going to loosen up with all the grease and oil in there and stuff. Now I want to put some grease down there on that part there, so I'm going to do that right now. And anything that it says put oil on, you know, like in the manual and that, I'll go back and do it correctly, put oil on. You know, even if I have to clean grease off, I will do it correctly. You know? So just so nobody gets concerned that, you know, the machines are being treated unfairly or anything. Yeah, right. Put some on there, and then put some there. That's where I want some to go, right there. And I'll put another glob on there, and then I'm going to turn the wheel. Nice, it's getting really messy with grease on that gear. What happened there? Okay, I think I need to, oh, I need to get it under the foot, that's what it is. Hey. Let me see what I'm trying to do here. I'm good to go, I'm pretty good there. Okay. Now this it's wet with warm water and dishwater liquid. And I'm just going to send it down the motor tube. Well, maybe I ain't. Oh, it's going, but I'm having to push it. So it's in there. Cool. Now it was already half clean from the day before, you know, from the other day anyway. Not the day before, but the other day, a few days ago. And let me just get a little bit of a balled up one here, and we'll see if I can send it down on this screwdriver. Like that. Where are we here? There we go. So it went through. And it's pretty clean. Doesn't look like there's any detritus on there, anything, any old oil or grease or anything. There, I can feel it's sitting in there now. I'm just going to let it sit in there for a while and wipe this off. Up there, I've been going through a pile of cotton swabs up in here, and making a little bit of progress. The one thing that is really a great tool is this thing here, because it'll go everywhere, you know. It'll get right in there, down there. I had this in a different position recently. That's got to be in the middle. And even when it's down like that, you can get right in there and get right under in all these crevices and that. You know, the places that I really haven't been able to get to yet. You know, it is a disadvantage not being able to remove that, but so what? That's life. You know, at least the rest of it is getting clean. And so that's how the process is going to continue, and that's how the machine will get to be clean. And I'm going to get the stack on and put the hand wheel back on, and that's all the cleaning I'm going to do for now. This machine is going to have a complete pull apart. You know, like everything, take the stitch levers out, take the hook out, take the presser bar off, the needle bar off, wash everything individually so that like it's pristine, it's perfect. And then put it back together, and then sell it. And then buy a couple more and do it again. Make some more movies. Make some more videos. So I'm not going to go any further with the cleaning, even though there's still some cleaning that has to be done for now. And I'm going to get the hand wheel back on and get the top back on, the arm top back on, and shine it up, like wipe off all the grease, and then that'll be the final shot. So as far as getting the cam stack on, we want the stitch monitors here to be, this one is up here at the A, and this one down here is at the K. These are the stitch selector knobs. And so that's the way we want, that's the position we want these knobs to be in when we remove the cam stack. So that is the same as now when I go to replace it. And I'm just really pleased how sweet and clean this is. And all I know is that this mark, when I took it off, when I took the cam stack off, the mark was kind of pointing that way. So it's going to be a matter of dropping this in, and there, it's moving now. So it's seated in there, and it looks pretty clean in there. Even that worm here on the horizontal arm shaft, it's not perfect because I couldn't get in there and do it. Reposition that there, that's correct. That's correct. It would, I think we're in there good. So what goes next is this, oopsie daisy, this spring screw, and it goes down like that in there. I'll hand tighten it as much as I can, and then I'll get a screwdriver, and there, I think that's tightened. Let me try with this one as well. Yeah, I think it's tightened. So that's good. Now it's hand wheel time. Okay, for putting the hand wheel on, that has slid on. There we go. This screw goes in. This screw goes in there. Nice. Now it's time for the arm top. That's snug, and that's snug. So there it is. We kind of made it with 3 or 4 or 5 versions of the initial video, and I have set it up as a playlist on the Jebb Adams YouTube channel. So all 4 or 5 of these videos relating to what we just did here, these past few films, will be there. There's still a lot more work to do. This sewing machine has a couple more issues. In addition to the regular maintenance of hook and you know, underneath rigging and all that. But I hope this was useful to you. It was for me, you know, and but I'm hoping that regardless of the delivery, the knowledge is useful to many people. That's my intention. Thanks for being here. Hope you made it through. It's a long video, I will say that. And you know, stay safe, have fun. Adios, amigos. These bed cushion screws are really rusty, so I'm going to take them out, all 4 of them. I'll take these bed cushions, they're new. They were just put on just the other day. Those screws are really rusty, so I have the must for rust down here, and I'm going to use these bed cushion screws to test the must for rust. There's the KRUD cutter, the must for rust, and I've already poured some in there, and it's kind of a bluish, greenish color. There's that screw, it's loosened, and I'm just going to go and loosen the other 3. They're in, I threw them in. So they've only been in there for a minute. I can already see down there some detritus starting to float around. We'll check it in 5 minutes. So they've been in there for about, well, probably 6 or 7 minutes now. I'm just going to fish them out and drop them on the shop. Those were the parts that hadn't been cleaned. So let me just hold one of them up here and see if we can get a look at it. So it's still, I would consider that still rusty looking. And so I'm going to have to, do I have a little toothbrush? I do, I have a little toothbrush. Hey, don't start losing your stuff, Jebb. It looks like it came mightily clean there, look at that. That is nice and clean, isn't it? And you know, I can tell that let me just give that a wipe off. Nice, nice, those are coming nice. And one more, and then I'll put the bed cushions back on the feet. And we're all fixed up for that. So that's always a nice simple job. Oh, they do look a lot better. Look how nice and shiny that is. It wasn't that shiny before.